Welcome back to exercise 4.1G, and this is question number 3, and it's 3A. And in this exercise, what we're asked to do is to model this part's dimensions are in inches. And the first step in A, we're going to create it as additive only. So we'll look at this real quick and let's figure out the best way to do it. And I think probably the best way to do this is to make a 2-inch by looks like 2-inch rectangle right in this body part, and then we'll go ahead and make it appears to be a 1-inch rectangle on top, and then add our tails on each end. So let's get started with that. So I've already got a new part started, so let's start sketching in the front plane. So I choose an extruded boss base, and we're going to start in the front plane. And you can envision I'm going to sketch this front face, and it looks like it's 1 inch tall, and it is a 1/2 inch plus a 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches wide. So we'll make that rectangle. Actually, I'll start with a corner rectangle. Click, drag, drop. I'm in inches, so we can go right ahead and dimension this. And I said 1 inch tall and 2.5 inches wide. So we want to dimension, or we want to extrude this out. Let's come out at us, and you can see that it's 3.5 inches total width, or total depth rather, and I'm going to take 1.5 inches off of that, and that gives me this rectangle right in this region. So that will be 2 inches. And I'm going to continue on. I'm going to make 2 rectangles now. I'm going to extrude a 1 by 1 by 1.5 inches. And then I'm going to also extrude what appears to be a 1 by 1 by 1.5 inches on the other side. So let's start a new sketch on this front face. I'm going to choose a corner rectangle. And you'll notice that if I drop that down on one side, click, drag, coincident, drop, and now just give a dimension of 1 inch. That part is defined. Give this one a dimension of 1 inch. We're now defined. When I exit my sketch, you're going to notice that I can go ahead and extrude this. Now I can choose different contours, and you see that I've got sketch 2 chosen. If I just come in here and start clicking on different contours, I can add and subtract contours. So you see how I'm clicking and things show up and go away, and you can play with that a little bit. But now I've got that extruded out, and my total depth is 3.5 inches now. So 3.5 inches, I've got my base done. So you'll now notice that what I need to do now is to come up a total of 1.5 inches, but I'm going to draw a rectangle here that's first a 1 inch rectangle, and it's a 1 inch wide by 2.5 inches on top of my present drawing. So we're going to start another extrusion on top of my drawing, use a corner rectangle, start on this corner and drag to that edge. Get the coincident markers on both, and then give it a dimension of 1 inch deep. With it 1 inch deep, I can exit my sketch, and you'll notice I'm going a little faster now, and I can extrude that up to 1 inch tall. Now you can see that we're very close. I've just got to add these 2 ends on, and these are 1/2 inch wide and they're 1/2 inch tall. So pretty straightforward. Let's start another extruded boss base on top of the surface. It asks me to sketch my rectangles coincident with the existing rectangle and coincident with the existing rectangle. Give it a dimension of 1/2 inch. and 1/2 inch. Exit my sketch, and you'll see I can roll my model. I need to go 1/2 inch up and accept it. I have now made my part through additive methods. So this one, I'm going to go File, Save As, and this will be question 3A. And that's it for question 3A. Thanks for watching.